Okay, so this is our second video on algebra, and we're looking at evaluating expressions. So what does it mean to evaluate? To evaluate an expression or to substitute values means to replace each variable or pronumeral in an expression with a number to obtain a final value. For example, if we say x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 8, then we substitute in the equation x plus 2y, to evaluate it means we substitute the 3 in for the x and the 8 in for the y. So we get 3 plus 2 times 8 equals 19. A term like 4a means 4 times a. When substituting a number, we must include the multiplication sign. So if we substitute a is equal to 2, two numbers written as 42 is very different than the product of 4 and 2, which is what 4a means. So if we're evaluating questions for the value when t is equal to 5, we'll go through a few equations here. So if t plus 7 becomes 5 plus 7, so we replace the t with a 5. So our answer, once we've replaced it, then we evaluate the equation and we get 12. Another example, if we have 8t, that means 8 times t, then we can substitute in the 5 for the t, and then we can evaluate the expression giving 40. So this is only where t is equal to 5. So another example would be 10 over t, or 10 divided by t, plus 4 minus t. So this is a bit more complicated. So firstly, we substitute t is equal to 5 into all places where there is a t in the equation. 10 divided by 5 is 2, plus 4 minus 5. So we're now evaluating the equation equals 1. When we're going through evaluating equations, we need to keep in mind our order of operation. Just like any other math, once an expression contains no variables, we evaluate it using the normal order of operations, or BODMAS, brackets, over, multiplication and division, addition and subtraction. So if we evaluate an equation where x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 7, here's an example where we have 5x plus y plus 8. We need to insert a multiplication sign between the 5 and the variable x. So we end up with 5 times 4 because we've substituted the 4 in for the x. Where there was a y in the equation, we substitute in the 7. So then we evaluate the equation. 20 plus 7 plus 8 equals 35. Here's another equation that we can do a little bit more complex. So 80 minus, now there's brackets here, so we need to keep in mind order of operation, 2xy plus y. So we put in times between each of the pronumerals in this first part of the equation, and we substitute in x is 4 and y is 7 in both places. Then we solve it using the order of operations. So we start with the multiplication. 2 times 4 times 7 is 56. Then we do the brackets. 56 plus 7 is 63. And then we finally solve the equation. So that's it for evaluating expressions in algebra.